Some are actually very minor mistakes, some are quite major. And so to rectify those mistakes, sometimes it may be too late or it may cost them penalties. So let's have a look at what are those mistakes that companies normally make. Yeah. First thing, tax invoices. You would think that this is so basic. Tax invoice. Every business, when they do a sales, they issue tax invoice. But then again, a lot of small businesses especially, they are still not aware that now under GST, if they are registered as for GST, they are taxable person. They have to comply to a certain format in tax invoice. But I find that especially the small businesses, yeah, they are still using handwritten invoices, even though since 1st October, there is a mandatory to actually have a type computer printed tax invoice. So there are still a handful of, I won't say a handful, I do not have the statistics, but I've seen businesses still issuing handwritten invoice. And then some are using computer printout, but of course the information inside the tax invoice may not be in accordance to the prescribed information. The customs has given a prescribed information. There are some basic information which are required in the tax invoice, but certain invoices might not be complying to that prescribed info. Okay? And then there's also wrongly use of tax invoice for exempt supply or out of scope supply. Recently also there has been a DG decision announced on how you should do the exempt supply, the tax invoice of exempt supply or out of scope supply. You basically do not use a tax invoice for these two of supplies. Okay? And time of supply. Again, I think this is very common. A business can be selling goods and issuing the invoice later. Why later? Most likely because they have outsourced accounting staff, which only comes in, say, once a week, once a month, or maybe some even once a quarter. Now, if your accounting is outsourced to a outsourced accounting staff, and she comes in at the end of the month, or sometimes she doesn't even come in on time, and you expect her to issue invoice for you, then of course the invoices would be delayed. Now, under GST law, your invoice has to be issued within 21 days from the day you sell your item, the day you deliver your goods. So if your staff comes in and 1 month later, that would exceed the 21 days rule. So that would be considered as a delay. Okay, and then you go and backdate the invoice. So that is clearly a non-compliant issue already. Okay, and advance issuance of tax invoice is also to do with time of supply. Sometimes you issue your invoice well in advance,